welcome back to the Imaginary Gallery. It's TJ, your host. Tonight's discussion was inspired by an interaction with a personal friend who's having difficulties with her mother. When I heard her tale, I couldn't help but think of my own and realize how universal this crap is. The basic situation was this mother doesn't let the daughter talk. The daughter has genuine grievances that she would like to discuss and point out how the mother was inaccurate in certain facts she claimed. The mother accuses the daughter of lying about things that she didn't lie about, and it's just nerve-wracking, and she decided to address the matter, writing down her thoughts with a letter, which I completely understood because back in the college days, I remember when I came up with that idea and thought, I know, I'll write a letter, and the reason is what I told her. I said, well, it's probably a good idea that you're writing the letter, because if you have a list of 5 examples of grievances, likely you won't get through the first one without the conversation being derailed, the mother turning it around, saying,
oh, what about you and this?
You'll be frazzled, you will be batty, and it will not help you. So when you write it all down, the other person has no choice but to just read. Doesn't mean they'll accept it, doesn't mean they'll approve of it or believe it, but they will at least read it, and for you, that's pretty much all you can expect. You can just expect to be heard, period. Because there's a reason why it's common after such an occurrence for this mother to simply use some kind of pity play maneuver like discredit the whole thing.
How could you be so hateful to your own mother?
Which, keep in mind, it's not hateful, it's factual. But these people don't see that because they can't accept the fact that they are to blame for anything. We don't know yet the result of the letter. I was just giving predictions that it'll probably be discredited, summarized in some way like I experienced with someone I did that with. I didn't write it though, I used a tape. I knew somebody who couldn't read very well, and I figured, well, I'm not going to spend time writing if I can't read. So instead, I took a tape, old-fashioned, push record and play. Yes, I'd like to discuss, and I went through a whole list. I found out what it thought about such tapes, because there was more than one. It said,
oh, you're going to give me another one of those tapes where you're just bitching?
I'm like, no, it's a tape full of ideas and thoughts and situations I think should be resolved that I can't seem to discuss. But see, these creatures don't see any validity in that. They see you as an object there for their purposes, and their purposes only. You're not supposed to think on your own. You're not supposed to have your own views and opinions. They just want you to accept what they dish out. And unfortunately, being a real person, that's just not an option. They're not going to have it the way they want it. To get to the bottom of the reason for all this, as far as why, the best thing to do is just know you've stated your case. These creatures have a problem. See, your attempt at resolution, the conflict, indicates some kind of freedom at the other end. So these creatures are all about control. They're not going to give you that freedom. You see, it sounds disgusting, but they actually thrive upon such conflicts. They have no intention of giving you the tools necessary to resolve it. You know, you dream of them saying,
oh, really? I did that and you felt terrible about it? Oh, my goodness. I can understand now where you're coming from. I'm going to do all I can to never talk to you that way again or behave in such a way. Oh, you've really shown me the light.
Ha! Dream on! They will never say that. They will turn it around, say something you did. Oh, you think you're perfect. Oh, what about the time you did? Blah, blah, blah. Everything to avoid discussing the specifics at hand. So you may go into depth in your written letter, but don't expect the creature to come back to you and address each little thing one by one. It's very likely it'll be a really quick summary of its disapproval of what you've said, some pity play comments, or any number of such things. But it won't be a sincere effort to resolve the conflict. Now, sometimes if they're desperate and you're out the door halfway, they may pretend to agree with some of your grievances as far as resolution. But it's usually temporary and fake just to get you back where you were before so they can continue the abuse. Yes, these are sickening people, but they actually do this. And nowhere in our grade school or elementary school do we ever hear lessons about such things. All we hear is,
don't accept candy from a stranger.
that's about it. These creatures don't always give candy, but they are very toxic, and we enter this world not knowing about them usually. Good thing is, they're all pretty similar. They use the same tactics, subscribe to the same bag of tricks, and you can see through them a lot of times. But keep in mind, if you see through them and you point it out, I just saw through you. You said this and you meant that, and I really meant this. you will simply be told, oh no, that's not what happened. And yes, it is what happened, but they will not admit to it because that's the creature they are. These creatures are not interested in conflict resolution. And whether it's a romantic relationship or a family relationship, either way it's usually difficult because in the case of the family, that's a long-term thing that began the day you were born. But when it's a romantic partner, usually these types of things don't show their ugly faces until long after you've gotten deeply involved, whether that means intertwined accounts with money, bought some house or car together, or some kind of major purchase or contractual agreement that ties you two together. And that's typically when these types of situations happen. Like in the beginning, you had any problem with anything, it was immediately resolved. But now, times are changing. When you're already involved deeply, that's when they feel they've got you. You're trapped. You are the prey, they're the predator. They've got you where they want you. So then, when you're trying desperately to be that fly twisting around in the tangled spiderweb of lies, saying,
Mr. Spider, let me go. I can't move now. I'm stuck.
As the spider sits there licking its lips, it doesn't want you to escape. You're right where it wants you to be. But they don't typically say that. They just drag things on out, never give you the closure or resolution you need, which guarantees them additional supply, because they know you will still be desperately trying to resolve this conflict. Well, just keep in mind, they have no intention of doing so. So if it gets to be exhausting, save your breath.
Oh, I am the sexiest narcopath you've ever been with. I guarantee it.
Well, honey, I've got just a few more little confessions for you because obviously I haven't told you enough, and I'm getting sick of it. I'm a prisoner here. Look, if you would help me to rescue me from this location... Oh, what are you doing here? You're not even supposed to be here.
What do you think you're doing?
Gee, I was just kidding. What is wrong with... Let's proceed with the confession.
I know that I left you without any kind of closure, the usual.
I couldn't help but notice you wrote me a long, long letter telling me all your feelings, which is exactly what I wanted. Because, honey, I ain't got no feelings. But I know you do. And I can learn from such things. But I would never have told you this. What I did was I took your heartfelt emotions scrawled out on paper and I memorized them. Because I knew I'd be rejected by someone once they figured me out in the near future. So I just memorized some of your lines and used them. Of course, sometimes I was met with a strange look. Evidently it didn't fit the rest of my persona, but I don't have time to worry about that stuff.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that.
I just want to get what I want when I want it. That's all there is to it. So thanks. You helped me. No, I didn't keep that letter by the bed because I was sentimental. I kept it to take lessons from it so I could appear to be just as normal as you. Because, honey, I ain't normal. I had a horrific childhood you would never understand. That's why I lied. Have some sympathy. Huh. Yes, that's why I'm the way I am. Because of someone else's fault. It's not my fault. Don't blame me for the actions of other people. That's not very nice. That's heartless. One day you'll see.
By the way, if you happen to come into my town...
Don't even think about contacting me. I want nothing to do with you. You had your chance with me. I know I never gave you any closure. I never do. He gets the most returned. But regardless, I'm too good for you now. So don't even think about it.
Who is calling at a time like this?
Hello? Hold on. This is the one that found out I cheated and lied. You're in town and you want to see me? But don't you have any hard feelings about what you found out about? Of course. Sure, I'm available. Come on over. The passcode to get in the room is 666. See, I don't need you. I have other exes coming back to Hoover me. I don't need you. So because you think you know so much about me and what I'm like, well, use that knowledge somewhere else. Because I'm busy living my life.
Talking to the
I do is pour since the lips got my hanging out on Monday, Sunday to dry. Now the man was born to go loving, but it was a woman born to be stay home and drive that spirit. I'm moving all the morning, all the night, and in between it's empty, not much hard to find. Let go, as the ground. It's driving me crazy just thinking about my baby. Let me go around. Go
Said, oh Lord Jesus, it's a fire. Jesus, 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 it's a fire. Lord Jesus, it's a fire. Said, oh Lord Jesus, it's a fire. Said, oh Lord Jesus, it's a fire. Jesus, 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 Jesus. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time.